Welcome to Miss.sheeena's world. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
If I am planning a girls' trip and it's only girls invited, yet you beg to bring your boyfriend, I'm probably not inviting you again. Because the one time I allowed this, it went absolutely terrible. So I'm the planner of the group, right? Everybody needs one to get everybody out the house. So I feel like we haven't done anything as just us girls in a minute, haven't gone on a trip. Like, we need to do something. So I sent in the group chat of all 5 of us, like, hey y'all, like, I found a good deal for this, this, and this, like, we should do it. And everybody's down, everybody agrees. Like I said, it's 5 girls. Most of us are in relationships, talking to somebody, but there is a few of us single, right? So everybody agrees, everybody's down. And then I get a call from one of my friends in there, and we're just gonna call her Tanya. So Tanya calls me up and she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for our trip. Like, I cannot wait. I just got a quick question. I'm like, yeah, what's up? Like, do you need help with this, this, and that? And she's like, no. Like, I'm wondering if I can bring my boyfriend. I said, Tanya, you know this is only a girls' trip, right? She's like, yeah, but like, we've been wanting to go on a trip for so long, and like, I feel bad because like, I'm gonna go with you guys and not him. Like, I just want to bring him. I'm like, okay, well, have you talked to anybody else in the group? She says no, didn't think so. So I'm like, okay, let me talk to everybody else. We hang up the phone. So I talked to everybody else, like one-on-one, and I'm like, hey, like, Tanya asked to bring her boyfriend on the group. What do you think? I'm telling you, everybody was, no, not happening. First of all, their relationship is already toxic, okay? They've been together off and on for 2 years. Heck, a toxic relationship. Why would we want to bring this on our nice, relaxing, girls-only vacation? I'm not feeling it. Neither are the other girls. So it's a no. Now, Tanya wasn't ready for this, right? So I call Tanya. I'm like, Tanya, I talked to the other 3 girls, like, and I was thinking about it, and like, this is just supposed to be for us. We're supposed to have a good time, enjoy each other's company. Like, I don't think you should bring him. It's just not fitting the vibe. She's silent. I'm like, hello? She's like, oh my gosh, like, I literally already told him he could come because I thought you guys were gonna say yes. Like, he literally said he would pay for my flight, pay for me to stay. Like, I just think it'd be so much easier if he came. Like, please just let him come. I'm like, hold on. I hang up the phone. I text them again. I'm like, y'all, she's begging me at this point. I don't even know how to say no. Like, she said he's paying for her, paying whatever. Like, what if they just got their own room? What if they just got their own room and like had their own space? Sure enough, 2 of them changed their mind. 1 of them's not. I'm like, you know what? Sorry, we got to do majority. So I call Tanya back. I'm like, Tanya, it's your lucky day, okay? Yes, your boyfriend can come, but we're not trying to have all that toxicity. Nothing crazy can be going on. She's like, okay, I promise. Like, thank you guys so much. Like, I cannot wait for this trip. Hangs up the phone. Little did we all know this would be a trip that we never forget. So months go by. It's time for the trip. We all fly together, right? And her boyfriend, he's being extra nice. Like, he knows we low-key don't want him there. So he's like buying us all these little snacks at the airport. Like, he's trying to be real cool, real friendly. And honestly, you know what? I'll take it. Go ahead if that's what you want to do. So we end up getting on the flight. We fly. We land in Florida. And we got like 2 like condo hotel style things like right next to each other. So we're like 201. They're in 203. Okay? It's fine. It's whatever. Now, day 1, right? We're in the living room, most of us. Like, we just got ready. We're about to go out to the beach. So I got my suit on. We got our suits on, whatever. And all of a sudden, I'm already hearing the bickering, right? So I'm telling the other girls, I'm like, shh, y'all, listen. And you hear next door, because their room is literally right next to us. She's like, you barely had money to pay for yourself. You said the last thing you were going to spend is for my hotel and for my flight. And now you want to buy all of my friends food and drinks. Like, you don't have no money. Where are you getting this money from? Blah, 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 blah. Already, bro. Thank the Lord we aren't sharing a room. So I'm like, come on, let's hurry up and get them. We don't want them in a bad mood. So we go out of our room. Let's go down to the beach. Come on. So they come out of their room. We go down to the beach. Everything is fine. Like, you can tell, like, there's a little bit of animosity with them, but it's really nothing crazy. So honestly, day 1 and 2 are fine. There's no issues until day 3 rolls around. So day 3 rolls around. We're out to dinner, right? We're eating and everything is fine. Her boyfriend is ordering random apps to the table, and I can just see on her face annoyed. She's like, and I'm thinking, what? He's just trying to get apps for the table. Like, I don't see the problem. I'm actually fine with this. So the bill comes, right? We all pay for our bills, and he tells the waiter, like, no, I got it. Like, I'll pay for all the apps. Like, don't worry about it. I'm like, oh, thank you. Everybody's saying thank you. She is not. She is not happy with him at all, and she doesn't hold it in. She's like, why do you keep spending all this money? You know we barely have money right now. Like, you're always complaining about this, and that. Like, why are you doing this? Again, I don't see the problem. And he's like, dude, I told you I've been doing this extra thing on the side called pay me. Like, I got extra money now. Just let it be. So they're quiet. Now, when we get home from this dinner, all the girls come to our room, right? And he's in his room. I don't know what he's doing. But she's like, I need a break from him for a second. Like, blah, 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 blah. Like, let's go down to the hot tub. So I'm like, okay, let's go down to the hot tub. When we go down to the hot tub, this is when I knew, like, this trip might really be cooked. So we go down to the hot tub. We're in the hot tub. We're cooling. Everything is fine. And we're in there for like an hour, 2 hours. We get out, we walk a little bit on the beach because it's right there. We get back in the hot tub. Like, we're down there for a minute, sipping on some drinks. And we just think like, wonder what your man's is doing, right? She's like, okay, I'm going to go check on him quick, make sure everything's cool. She goes up to his room, right? 203. Nothing. I'm like, okay. Like, at this point, it's like 12:30, so it's a little late. She's thinking he might be asleep, right? She has the key. She goes in the room. He's not in there. I'm like, oh, okay. What he got going on? So she comes back down, tells us, and yeah, we're like, okay, maybe he just went and did his own thing. Like, I don't know. Who knows what he could be doing, right? Tell me why. She's blowing him up, and he is not answering. So we're like, okay, he's probably just doing his own thing. Like, let's just walk on the beach and check on it when we get back. So we're walking the beach, and there's like little bars and hotel stuff open on the side still. And all of a sudden I see from a distance, like, this little bar open, and there's a guy and a girl leaned up against the bar. And while I'm looking, I'm like, wait, Tanya, isn't that what dude was wearing when we were out to dinner? Like, is that not him? As soon as she looks and realizes it's him, she sprints to him, okay? And I'm scared at this point because she already is a little worked up. So she sprints over to him, grabs him, like grabs his shoulder and flips him around and is like, what are you doing? You're really going to do this to me on vacation? You're really going to embarrass me like this when we're on a vacation with my friends? Like, blah, 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 blah. He's not having it at all. He walks away from her. I don't even know where he goes at this point, right? So I'm like, are you good? Like, what's going on? She's mad. And I'm thinking this is exactly why we should have never done this. So we all go back to the hotel. She goes in, we're all with her when she knocks on 203 to see if he's in there, right? He's still not in there. So she goes in her room. She's calling him. He's not answering. She changes, gets ready for the night, whatever. We're in our room like, what is going on? All of a sudden we hear on our door, and it's him. He comes in and is like, dude, I literally the girl I was talking to owns a little parasailing thing on the beach. I was literally planning something for me and her to do. Like, she ruined it. He's like, with that extra pay me money, like, I wanted to do something just me and her, like, make it a cute little date. We're like, oh, dang, you might, just tell her that. Like, literally just go in the room and tell her that. He's like, all right. So he goes into the room. Soon as I hear him enter his room, I hear her screaming at him.
When I tell y'all, I will never take a girls trip with anybody who does not have funds. Let me tell you guys a quick story time. So I would like to preface this by saying the trip has not yet happened. However, this is a conversation I had to have with somebody today. So boom, we're in Nigeria for December. I thought it was gonna be like dirty December. It was not. We were in the villages. Okay. So it just wasn't as relaxing of a trip as I wanted. So I hit up a bunch of my homegirls. I'm like, let's go to Aspen. Let's do a girls trip. I'll fly out my homeboy who's a videographer who'll do our footage. Like, it'll be a good fucking time. Everyone was generally in consensus. Cool. So I told them, they hit up their friends. So now we got a good group chat going of like, hey, like, where do we want to stay? What do we want to do? And we all kind of came to the conclusion that like, this is kind of like a relaxing time. Like, there's no real plans. If you want to go ahead and snowmobile, snowboard, ski, everyone can just kind of do whatever they want to do. There's no pressure to do any sports. We are not Olympians. We are not training for the end of the fucking world doomsday, bitch. We are just here to relax and have a good time. Cool. One of the friends, the friend of my friend, texts me separately and says, hey girl, do you know the total expenses? Because her birthday's coming up. I want to make sure that I can afford both. Fucking understandable. I'm here with you, sister. We're here together. So I message her back and I'm like, the rental car shouldn't be more than 50 a person. Other than that, like we're deciding the Airbnbs in the group chat. You know what I'm saying? Let me find something within everyone's budget. I am extremely vocal in this group chat. Extremely. I'm sending Airbnbs. I'm sending verbos. I'm sending fucking everything. How do y'all like this one? How do y'all like this one? What about this? How's the rate looking? This is how much it would be per person after taxes. Yeah. Everyone is responsive. Except her. I'm assuming you're not saying shit. You're sitting here in agreement. Because if you have an issue, raise your hand. My friend was like, I don't have enough money to be doing, X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z. If y'all want to go skiing for $300, snowboarding for $300, another day this for $300, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not paying for that. Respectfully, me either, bitch. And I'm glad you said something because now we're all on the same page as to what it is that we're trying to do. So I finally send one, yada, yada, yada. It's $500 a person. Is this cool with y'all before I book it? Everyone says yes. She doesn't say anything. Silence is agreement in my mind, because if you have a problem with it, before I book it, you should what? Say that. She said nothing. So, go ahead, book it. When you book it, it makes you put down the motherfucking funds, at least $1,500. Put it down, screenshot it, put it in the group chat. Hey, whenever y'all need to reimburse me, just let me know. I've already paid for it. I'm paying the other half on this date, which is when it's due. Let me know. This was booked on the 26th of January. On the 29th, she messages me and says, hey girl, I should honestly read the text verbatim, but she basically was just like, hey girl, like, I don't think that my finances will permit me to go, yada, 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 but also I don't want to inconvenience everyone else by putting my portion on them. And so I messaged her back and I said, ultimately, it's, if it will be an extra $105 per person if you don't go, but it's your decision. I don't know your finances. I don't know anything that you have going on in life. Like, I can't tell you what the fuck to do. I'm not going to tell you to neglect your bills or whatever responsibilities you have to be in this position to just come and fucking lounge around in Aspen. Like, respectfully, no. So she's like, okay, I'll let you know tomorrow. Doesn't message me the next day. So I hit her up the following day and was like, hey girl, like, what did you decide? Hey, turns out I'm not going to go. I can't really afford it. Yada, 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 yada. Okay. That's all I says. Okay, because at this point, I'm going to message the group chat. Everyone try to find somebody else to cover this other girl's portion, unless y'all want to pay more money. So we search and we scour the motherfucking earth. We can't find nobody. So today, right, I hit sister up. I'm like, hey, do you mind paying half of your portion? I didn't even say the full portion. I said, do you mind paying half the portion, which is $262 due to the, the last minute cancellation? You did it, yada, yada, yada. I understand that you can't come, but like, at this point, like, the other girls just kind of don't feel comfortable paying that extra amount because it's just something that they didn't allot for. And it's cutting into their expenses, and everyone was on the same page in agreement prior to this being booked. She says no. She says, how much is half? Girl, $262. You scroll up, you see it's $262. She's like, well, no, because I didn't realize that there was a cancellation and you were trying to find somebody else and yada, yada, yada. Every Airbnb, every Verbo, you put money down, and if you cancel it, you get a portion of it back. That $1,500 I put up front was non-refundable. That was going to get taken. So even if you did say, you know what, we're going to cancel this and get a different Airbnb, that $1,500 would have been ate up regardless. So no, that doesn't make sense. And I'm asking you to pay $260 when in reality you owe us $540. I'm not understanding. And she's like, why cancel before? You didn't cancel before. You canceled after the fact. and we sat in that group chat and we asked you time and time again, do you want to go? Is this okay? Does anybody have anything to say about the rates? And nobody said anything. You didn't say no, which means that you're in agreement, yes, of those fucking rates. So now, regardless if you can't go on the trip or whatever the fuck else it is, you are still responsible of your portion, regardless if you're going or not. There's more to the story, but basically the girl was just like, well, I don't got it. Which in my mind, if you don't have $262, you should have never been even thinking about going on that trip to begin with, because you quite literally can't fucking afford it. If you can't afford $262, if you can't afford that, you were never going to be able to afford the trip, and you fucking knew it. Am I the asshole? Like, am I the fucking asshole for even asking her for money? I don't think I am.
Okay, so my homegirl just replied to my last TikTok about a story time, and she gave me an idea for another story time. So this is a story time about, you know how people say when you go to Miami with your friends, you fall out? Well, I ain't never been to Miami with my friends and fell out. Probably because everything was on me. But this is like 2 trips, so you can get the full picture. So this is a long ass story. You might want to times 2 this, press the upper corner. But anyway, so this is back when I was still doing services or whatever, and there was these Asian chicks that used to come and get their lashes done by somebody who worked in my shop or whatever. So all of a sudden, like, they start getting their lashes done by me. I don't know why or what, but you know what I'm saying, it was what it was. So they started getting their lashes done by me, and she would just tell me about, like, how her boyfriend was rich and a millionaire, and he did this for her and did that for her. And me, I'm not no hater, so I'm like, damn, that's what's up. Like, I like that or whatever. Then she started telling me about a friend he had. Now, mind you, I never asked about a friend because I don't really need nobody to put me on. But she was telling me about a friend that he was newly divorced and he was good looking, and she wanted me to meet him. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So, like, she would call a few times, like, last minute, and they would be, like, out to drinks. And she'd be like, come pull up. And I'm like, oh, girl, I can't. I'm doing something, blah, 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 whatever. So I think we did make introductions over the phone. So, fast forward to February, around Valentine's Day, her boyfriend and him and me all decided to take a trip to St. John's. It's like an island right off of St. Thomas or whatever. So, in mind, this is like our first time meeting in person. So, I'm like, all right, bet, this sounds fun. Like, I'm down for it or whatever. So, boom, they fly me to St. John's. And then, but when I get there, the guy who I was supposed to be meeting, he invited another guy. So, it was 3 guys and just me and her. And so, like, I'm thinking I'm supposed to be getting to know this guy. But the whole time, his friend is really trying to get to know me or whatever. So, like, when I was just kind of like, I don't want to say I was cool on a friend, but kind of cool on a friend. Like, he got mad and was ready to leave the island. And I'm just like, I just was trying to figure out what's going on. But mind you, the whole time, this girl was flirting with the guy that I'm supposed to be getting to know. And I'm just like, what's going on here? But at the same time, it's a free trip. I'm just like, whatever. I ain't got no ties to none of y'all. I'm just here having a good time or whatever. So I peeped the whole scene about, like, you know, how they was flirting and stuff. And, like, every time he would try to talk to me, like, one-on-one, she would come and interrupt or make him leave. Or it just was some weird stuff or whatever. So I'm just like, all right, whatever. We did have a good trip, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? So fast forward, I want to say, like, maybe 2 weeks later, she was like, oh, let's do a girls trip to Mexico. And so I just thought it was just weird how she was kind of acting on the first trip. But I'm just like, okay, I'll think about it. Mind you, I said I think about it. She hit me the next day like, hey, I bought your ticket. Just send me the money. Like, and I'm just like, and the ticket was like $2,000. So I'm just like, well, it was like $1,800 or whatever. So I'm just like, man, all right, because I didn't tell her no, and I didn't want her to spend money on the ticket, and you know what I'm saying, me not come through, whatever. So I ended up sending her the money and going on the trip. So mind you, on this trip, it was me, her sister, who I also did her lashes, and then another one of her friends that worked with her at the casino, and then the girl that the guy she was trying to make me get to know, his new little boo thing. So, like, I'm finding out all this stuff. I'm just sitting here like, why is she trying to put me on a man who got a little boo thing? Whole time she like him. Like, it just was a weird situation. And I was like, whatever. I should have knew not to go. So, anyways, we go on a trip, and we there for like 5 days. Like, and it's during spring break too. So we at this resort or whatever, and it's all inclusive, but we still want to go out to dinner, and we still want to do excursions and stuff outside of the resort. So, like, when she would come up with ideas and stuff for us to do, like, oh, let's go camel riding, or let's go whatever we was doing, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, okay, like, it's something that we ain't paid for yet. I'm like, oh, my, you know what I'm saying? My little boo said he'll pay for it. He said he'll send it through or whatever. So, like, as days went on and I kept doing this, she was like kind of poking fun, like, oh, you want to go buy a hot dog, better call your boo to send you $50. Like, just saying little weird stuff like that. But my thing is, like, she didn't say it once. She kept saying it multiple times. So I'm just like, why does she keep joking about, you know what I'm saying? Whole time, her card getting declined everywhere we went. And your dude supposed to be the millionaire. But granted, her card kept getting declined because she had a Discover card. And Discover wasn't taking a lot of paces. So, like, I would pay, and she would send it right back. Like, it was no money. You know, her money wasn't funny. But it's just so funny. Like, you want to see her crack jokes about how I'm paying for our stuff. I ain't cracked the joke yet about your card being declined. So, like, it just got to the point where I was just, like, so ready to go home. So, we at the airport or whatever. And she cracks another joke. And so, I decided to crack the joke back. Like, okay, if she's just joking, then I should be able to joke back then. So, I cracked the joke, like, about how her card got declined. Then, all of a sudden, she want to call her dude, like, oh, yeah, like, this and the other, the car keeps getting declined. I know money's on there. Like, oh, he said drinks on him and this and the other. And I'm like, damn, this your first time offering to pay for something, but your dude is the millionaire. So why was he paying for the whole trip? Like, I don't need nobody to pay my way. But to me, my thing is, like, I'm just a girl's girl. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how you gonna sit here and crack jokes on me? But whole time y'all supposed to be caked up and your car's declining. Like, I don't know. He should send you another card then, boo, because my stuff going through. But anyway, so, like, it got to the point to where she said something at the airport, or her sister said, I don't know what, but I ended up going off of both of them. Like, you know, basically, like, fuck both of y'all. Like, that's why you mad because I'm living the same lifestyle as you, but you gotta suck old white wrinkly balls to get it. And that's what I said. And I posted about it on Instagram too. And so the guy who she wanted me to get to know that she liked, but her friend was dating, like, we kind of kept up with each other, like, after that. And he said that, like, it's a running joke for them now. Like, they always call the dude, oh, wrinkly white balls and all types of stuff like that. And, like, every now and then he'll tap in and see how I'm doing. But nothing came of that situation. But I just felt like it was so weird for her to invite me on a trip with a guy she liked that her friend was dating, and then invite me on a girl trip just to try to, like, poke fun. Like, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. At the same time, I'm like, I think we was in Cozumel, so it was so far away. Like, we was behind time, so I just felt alone, isolated, and I don't like that because I'm not a mean girl. I don't make jokes because it's a little truth and every joke. I don't make women feel uncomfortable. So I just feel like that was very mean-spirited of her, and I kind of just stopped talking to them after that. And it's been a few times where a dude hit me up like, oh, they miss you, this and that, and I'm like, I'm cool. But that was my first time going on a trip with a girl that didn't go well. Because, like I said, normally if I'm going on a trip, especially to Miami, my boo gonna pay for me and my friends. Like, I'll never put us in a situation where we having to come up out of pocket like that, unless it's already, you know, say understood. But anyway, long story short, that was my mean girl trip. Yep.
Story time on how I'm no longer best friends with my best friend as I clean my room, taking it from that to this. So last year I booked a 30th birthday trip to Greece and to Paris. So it was a 7-day trip. It was 2 days in Santorini, 2 days in Mykonos, a day in Santorini, and then a 24-hour layover in Paris. So this was a trip of a lifetime. Everybody was so excited. It was just going to be a good time. I invite my cousin. I invite my ex-best friend, let's name her as B, and she invited her friend C, so it was going to be 4 girls. The day of the trip comes, and my best friend tells me that her package did not come in time. So I say, hey, I have a little bit of time. I can go to Rainbow, and I can pick out some outfits with you on FaceTime. We pick out the outfits, very cute, and I end up getting all my things together, and I met at the airport. I was expecting to meet B at the ticket counter, but I had to go all the way to TSA with my things along with this big old bag of Rainbow items, which was annoying. But I get to the gate, I give her this bag, and I realized that she ended up using this bag as her carry-on. And so by the time that we got to Santorini, mind you, because we had to fly into Athens and then we had to go to Santorini. By the time we get to Santorini, this bag is beat up, y'all. Beat up. Like, it has holes in it. It just really wasn't a good bag anymore. It's a plastic bag. So we have a great time in Santorini. Like, we enjoyed the views. The vibes were lit. It was top tier, 10 out of 10 experience. So the day comes for us to get on the ferry to go to Mykonos. Everybody packs their bags, and then we head to the port to get on the ferry. We drop B and C off, and then me and my cousin, we ended up taking the rental car back to the airport and Ubering back to the port. when we get back to the port, B is like, we're like, hey, this is how much the Uber was. We split it 4 ways. And B was like, that was y'all's decision to take an Uber. And we were like, how the heck were we supposed to get the rental car back? Like, that was just weird number one. Weird thing number one. Me and my cousin looked at each other like, what the hell? So, but everybody ended up sending the money. So then we get to Mykonos and then we land. It's just been a long travel day. We ended up getting to the Airbnb maybe around 3:30, and everybody's chilling for a little bit. And then around 5 o'clock, I get really hungry. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm finna get some food. It might have been a little bit earlier than that, y'all, but I was like, I want to get some food. I'm hungry. So I get up, I get dressed, and I'm like, if everybody can be ready in 15 minutes, then y'all can go with me. But if not, I'm finna go get food. So me, my cousin, and C, we end up going to get lunch or dinner, whatever. It was really like a late lunch, but it wasn't our dinner that day. And C goes and says, hey, very casually, hey, can you contact the Airbnb host from Santorini and ask them if they found a passport? Because B can't find her passport. It was said so casually that I didn't think much of it. I was like, ooh, we got to find that. But I was like, this food is good. So I contact them immediately, though. But mind you, it's like 5 o'clock now. Like, we left that Airbnb at 8 a.m. So I contact them, waiting for a response. And then we get back from lunch to the Airbnb. And just for context, B and C don't know my cousin from a can of paint. My cousin is like 36, 37, love her to death. But that's my cousin, you know what I mean? So they don't really know her, but they've been spending time, obviously, all as a group with each other. And so my cousin, she's like being like, obviously she's more mature. So she's like asking questions and this and that. But I can tell my ex-best friend B has been actively ignoring me. So I'm not like too much engaging, but as I'm getting ready for dinner, I ask out loud, I'm like, hey, have you checked all your small compartments? Very sincere. And B responds, duh, lyric. Very uncalled for, rude. And see me, I don't have energy. I don't have time for that. Yeah. So I continue getting ready because now at this point, I don't give a damn. And I go with my cousin and we go to dinner, like on the boardwalk. It was beautiful. So we get back that night and I go into the room and I see B's on the phone. Mind you, B has kind of low-key been on the phone since earlier, but with people that really can't help her. I get it might have been like a coping mechanism, but we need to devise a plan. I feel like all hands should be on deck. This is a serious situation. But again, she wasn't communicating with me at all. So I go into the room. I'm like, hey, can you explain to me what's going on? I see she's on the phone, but like honestly, at that point, I didn't care. And C ends up explaining to me what's going on. I'm like, look, I don't need you to explain it to me. I need her to explain it to me. And she looks at me and she was like you see, I'm on the phone. And to me, I was like, I feel like this phone call can wait. That's what I said. I think this phone call can wait. I think this situation is more important. And she looked at me and she said, every time I'm going through something, you decide to give me a hard time. Y'all, quite literally, I have only ever came through for this person. I hold them accountable and I might say, hey, like that could have been avoided, like da-da-da-da. But I always come through. Like I come through for the people I love. Like ask about me. If anybody that knows me and like I've been cool with you, I've been friends with you, you know, like I'm literally a ride or die. So that threw me for a loop. At that point, it was out of my hands. I didn't care. I didn't care about nothing that was going on. So then my cousin ended up being very helpful, but my ex-best friend B was very, very nice to see, and my cousin. Mind you, she don't know my cousin from a can of paint. You being nicer to a stranger than you are to your best friend. So they ended up, long story short, she ended up having to go to the embassy the next day, and it was a Friday. She had to take a 5-hour ferry to the embassy, and her C ended up going with her. And so they ended up getting it situated, but she had to get a temporary passport, so she couldn't go to Paris. Me and my cousin, we just decided to end up enjoying the rest of our trip. Like, that's nothing we can do about that. So we enjoy the rest of our trip. We go to Paris. It was beautiful. We got to see the Eiffel Tower, and it just so happened that Paris fell on my actual birthday. So it was perfect. My mom gave me the advice, enjoy your trip. You have worked so hard for this. Like, don't let anybody steal your joy. And that's exactly what I did. But y'all, here's the kicker. Me and B, we worked at the same restaurant. So I ended up getting back home and then going to work, and there was stories going around that B had been telling people that someone stole her passport in Greece. Like, she didn't even admit that she lost it. Like, that to me was insane. Like, I just pled the fifth when people was talking to me about it, asking me about it. Like, oh, I don't know nothing about that. But yeah, so that is the reason why me and her are no longer friends. I tried to ask her about it later down the line, and she told me there's nothing to talk about. But yeah, here's my clean room, and that's a story time on how I'm no longer best friends with my best friend.
Story time about my girls' trip to Vegas that went horribly wrong and then ended with me being cussed out by your guys' favorite rapper and then being robbed for thousands of dollars by the end of this fucking trip. So to protect the identity of everybody in this situation, I will be using code names clearly, but we're gonna start off with 4 girls, okay? Myself being one of the girls, obviously. So the 4 girls are myself, my cousin. We're gonna call this girl Pebbles, and then we're gonna call my bestie who was on this trip, we're just gonna call her Bestie, just to make things simple. So it's my cousin's graduation from college. Obviously, it's a huge thing. I want to celebrate it. We love celebrating. So of course, this is a huge achievement, right? You're graduating from college. Of course, we have to go on a girls' trip. And of course, it just makes sense to go to fucking Vegas because why not? So I set up everything for this trip. I set up the room. I have a plug that will get us free rooms. I have like all the situations set up. So pretty much we don't have to spend any of our own money. So I'm planning pretty much this trip 100% by myself. And my cousin, she brings Pebbles, which is her best friend. And then I bring my bestie to this trip, okay? Obviously, we had a group chat with all 4 of us in it, just discussing the trip and like what our itinerary was, whatever. The day comes, we all have different flights. So me and Bestie have one flight, and then Pebbles and cousin have the same flight. So we all land at different times though. So me and Bestie land pretty early in the day. My cousin and and Pebbles, they land a little bit later than us. And then while me and my bestie are getting dressed to go to dinner, I get a text from my cousin and Pebbles in the group chat. And they said, hey, we're gonna stop at this Jamaican food spot for dinner because we haven't ate all day. So I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, no worries. We'll see you guys when we see you, like no rush. We'll all link up to go out later that night. So it just so happened, I'm gonna call my friend Ace. So my homeboy Ace that just happened to be out there the same time as me is out there doing his thing, whatever. And he hit me and was like, hey, do you wanna go get dinner with my friends? He had a group of friends that were out in Vegas, and they just happened to be staying at the same hotel as like our whole group. So I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. So we all link up for dinner. So it's me and Bestie and then Ace and all his homeboys or whatever. And Ace, he's a little bit of a baller, whatever. So he rented out like this whole area of like the restaurant that we were at. So time goes by and we're enjoying the dinner with Ace and his friends and me and Bestie. We're just having drinks, we're eating. We've been there for a minute at this point and my cousin still hasn't pulled up to the hotel. By the time she gets there, I tell her, hey, come meet me at this restaurant. I'll give you the hotel key so that you can go up to the room and just, get ready so that we can go out later tonight. My cousin hits me and she's like, hey, I'm outside. So I meet them outside of the restaurant and I give them the key. Pebbles fixes her mouth to say, oh, so you guys are just gonna go out to dinner and not tell us anything? And I'm like, girl, y'all have food in your hand. Y'all went to a Jamaican spot by yourselves. Like, I can't help that you chose to do something different. And she's like, well, why wouldn't you tell us that you guys were going out to eat at a nice restaurant and like you guys rented out like a whole area of the restaurant and you didn't even tell us. Like, we would have rather have did that. So I proceed to tell her like, oh girl, like, it is what it is. You guys, it was last minute. Had I known that you guys were going to take that long, you guys wouldn't have even made it in time. Like, it was just like a coincidence that my friend was out here and we all just went to dinner last minute. Mind you, Pebbles I have only known for like less than a year. Like I had seen her maybe once or twice in passing with my cousin, but like I didn't know her like that. She's not my friend. She is my cousin's best friend. So like for you to even start talking to me like that, red flag already. And it's not even day one. It's hour one of this girls trip. So my cousin kind of intervenes and she's like, you know, whatever, it's cool. Like, we're going to go upstairs and get dressed. You know, I wish you guys would have invited us, whatever. I guess I could have said something in the group chat. But y'all were already like 2 hours later. We had already been at the restaurant for like 2 hours. So it's like, girl, there's nothing we could do. Anyways, dinner ends. Me and Bestie go upstairs to our hotel room with Pebbles and my cousin to, you know, go out for the night. Mind you guys, this is night one. And let me say this too, actually. I got us such a beautiful hotel room. So clean, luxurious. There was 2 different wings of this hotel room, okay? Not even to like flex, but like my friends that have traveled with me before and we go out like on trips, I'd be making sure we have all the nice shit, okay? When I'm planning it, I make sure everyone has their own room, everyone's comfortable, everyone has their own situation, okay? So as we're getting dressed, Pebbles fixes her mouth to say, again, this room is dirty. This room looks so dirty. Like, who booked this room? And I'm like, girl, what do you mean who? This is a 5-star hotel and we're in a huge fucking suite, okay? This isn't like, oh, one of the basic rooms, 2 bed, 1 bath. This is a big ass suite, okay? So I'm just kind of ignoring her. I'm just like, whatever. Once we go out, hopefully the energy changes and we, you know, I won't hear her mouth. We get in our Uber to go to Dre's. And if you know Dre's, that's like the best club in Vegas. It's my favorite club. I always go there every time I go. It's just such a vibe. I love just everything there. So we get into Dre's and of course, Pebbles and my cousin. Pebbles tells my cousin, oh, you know, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Let's go to the bathroom, right? And so I'm like, I don't need to go to the bathroom. Like, y'all can go, right? So my cousin was like, okay, we'll be back. We're gonna go to the bathroom as we're in the club, right? So they walk off. They go to the bathroom. Me and Bestie are just keeping out the scene. We're walking up, looking cute, whatever. And obviously, as I expected, because they were like, oh, like we don't know anybody's booth, instantly, as soon as we walk in, within the next like first 5 minutes, somebody comes up to us and is like, hey, I am such and such's producer or assistant or something, and he would love for you guys to come to the artist booth. He's about to perform, you know, and hang out with us for the night. Okay, cool. But I had already told the assistant, I was like, hey, I have 2 other girls with me. I have my cousin and I have her best friend. So just make sure that there's enough room for all 4 of us. And she goes, oh, you know, don't worry about it. Don't worry. You guys are all good. Just like, you know, let me know when your cousin and her friend get out the bathroom, right? So I text the group chat with all 4 of us and I'm like, hey, we're going to go to the artist booth. Let me know when you guys get out of the bathroom so I can grab you. And then this is when my cousin started to act a little bit weird. So she texts the group chat and she goes, why would you leave us? Why would you leave us knowing that we just went to the bathroom? How could you leave us? I'm like, girl, we didn't leave you. I just told you when you get out the bathroom, let me know. I'm going to have the girl come down and get you guys so we can all sit together. Like, what's not clicking? So as I told them, when they got out of the bathroom, the assistant went down and grabbed the girls so that they can come to the artist booth and sit with all of us. Okay, great. However, my cousin and Pebbles both seemed like they had a little bit of an attitude, okay? You know when you're like texting somebody, you're texting your friend, but you guys are texting like when you're next to each other, like it's like you're gossiping about the situation? That's what was going on. I could clearly tell my cousin was texting Pebbles talking shit about me, okay? But the night goes on. We all are drinking. We're all having fun. Like they're ordering like all these like Don Julio bottles, like 1942, like bottles, right? So obviously at that point, the energy has definitely changed. Everyone's in a great mood. We're all having fun. The vibe is perfectly fine. The rapper that we were with got off of his set and he's chilling with us. We're all having fun, talking, dancing, drinking, whatever. So then Pebbles comes up to me while we're in the booth. She's like, hey, I'm going to try to, you know, mess with the rapper. I'm going to try to see, you know, what's up with him. Y'all, not even 3 minutes into her saying that, I hear the rapper tell me, oh, it's a dead body. Your friend's a dead body. I'm like, what? I look to my left and I see Pebbles asleep in the booth, nodding off, but as she's nodding off, she is violently throwing up on herself, on the table, on her shoes, on all the guys' shoes, on the rapper's shoes. She's just throwing up on everything inside of the ice bucket, okay, at the freaking table. What happens next? The rapper takes out his phone and he starts recording my friend throwing up on herself with the flash on. And this is the end of part 1.